Hello everybody and welcome back. So we just made this work. So when we enter here, we reload the level and have the screen pass render feature work. So we get this nice fade in and out like this. But now we're going to add yet another one. So when we run, well, we need to add the speed here, but then we're going to have speed lines going on. So what we're going to do in the script, we're going to swap out this one. So instead of adding features like this with a new one and kind of fade in and out, we're just going to swap out this one. So it's going to be a little bit smart working like that. So first we're going to create this speedline script, well, shader, and we do full screen shader. So this is going to be the running lines, speed lines. That's going to be good. And then we just make a material of it. So if we add the speed lines now, it's great, and that's expected. So if we open it up, the shader, and then if we look at it, so this is how it looks. And the first thing we need to do, we need to do this URP sample buffer. So we can sample the buffer, and we're going to have the blitz source, which means we're just going to pass it through and don't do anything. So now you see, we actually see, now we see, so we don't add any effect on it. So we're going to have a float that's called effect. So what we could do, just to make sure that this one works, we can do a color. This is more or less the same as before, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So when we have this one, we don't even need color. So I'm just going to make sure that everything is working and set up. So this speed line, if you look here, I'm actually going to change this one to a slider. I like to have a slider. So now if we do like this, we have the fade as we did before. Now we just verified it works. And I'm also going to go in this script and just do another color. So now you see it's blue. So first off, I'm going to make sure the script is working. And what we did in the last one, I explained how this works. So this is loading the white load fade stuff. And when that's done, we need to make sure that we go over to having the run material. So we're going to make sure that here, it actually set the run material. So if we see speed here, we have the run material. So we're setting it here. And we don't need to look at the load level stuff at the moment. So now we need to, whenever we're running, we're going to increase this one more and more. So in the update here, we're going to fetch some info. So the faster we run, the more effect we're going to give. So we're going to set it here. And we are actually getting the character controllers, velocities, magnitude, also the speed. So we actually, this is the, we're going to focus just on this in this tutorial here. And the reason why we have min speed and max speed, I'm going to explain it. But first, we need a character controller. And so if we go back here and go to the controller, then we just plug this one. Why isn't it working? Oh. So if you look on the player amateur, you have third-person controller. And that's not the one we're going to have. It's actually this character controller. Because this one is actually giving us the speed. We can't really see it here, but it do give us the speed. Or actually velocity. So the character controller, we have it in here. And then we have the speed lines run material speed lines. So now if we play, you see, and also we need to make sure here you see 20. So I'm going to make sure the player has a default of like 3, and then the sprint speed is going to be 20. So the faster it goes, the more speed lines. So now if we play, you see, oh, it didn't work. Something's not working. So let's see here what's going on. I haven't saved it. Probably that's why. Or yeah, let's try it again. Now, yeah, okay. So we also need the effect to be clamped. So I'm going to make a saturate here. Now you see the faster we run, the more it goes. Now we can just focus on adding the speed lines. So now we know that the code is working. So this is how it looks. Cool. So in order to make these speed lines, we need to, we can remove this stuff here. So we need to have some noise. So we're going to use this simple noise. And we're going to have, we can actually add a color here now. Because the color is going to be the color on the speed lines. And we're going to have a lerp actually. So if we have this set up like this, and then this noise is going to determine where we have the color, which is the lines. So if we use the polar coordinates and plug it in like this, now you see that if we stretch here, you see we have some kind of speed lines going on. So if we just save it, now you see here, we have something going on here. So that's cool. But we need to animate it so it's kind of feels like we're going down into it. And the problem with this setup is that if we do X, how is it? Let's make a split. So if we do a preview, so here you see this is kind of 0 and this is 1. So this makes more sense, 0 and 1. So that's kind of the first UV. That's you see. It looks a little bit circle, right? And then you have this one here. So this is kind of the circle. But we need this one to be animated. So if we animate this one, then this one will always kind of loop inwards or outwards. So what we need to do with this one, we need to work a little bit with this stuff. So we don't need that one. But if we do a vector again like this, and then we just plug this one back in. So the green one we won't do anything with. So this is good. And this one here, that's what we're going to work with. So if we add something to this one, now you see we're kind of making it moving like this. This is perfect. And so we're going to use a time for that. So if we just add a time in this one here, now you see kind of look okay-ish. And if we do smaller or bigger. So, and now if we take the radial scale, and do it smaller. And then this one here. Now you see we're getting what we want. perfect. So that's nice. And also, we don't want it to be in the center. So if we just make a polar coordinate again, and then we do a distance. So what we do now, we're actually measuring the distance to the center. Yeah. Actually, we can use tiling this one. And then we can measure to the center like this. So now if we multiply, because this is a mask, right? And if we multiply this one, now this mask doesn't have anything in the center. So now, if we save this one, now you see it looks like this. So yeah, maybe you're happy with this, but we can tweak it a little bit more. So I'm just gonna remap it a little bit here. We can do it like this. Then it's 0 here. So here we can actually just, if we just want it to be a little bit more, leaving the center okay. And then I just want to have a saturate here, because I really want to make sure it's between 0 and 1. And if we save now, and the speed lines, I'm going to have them to be white. And we forgot one thing. And what's also important is that we are multiplying all this stuff with the effect, because we need to kind of add it or remove it. So the effect's going to be the one that decides if we're going to have it or not. So this should be the final shader. So if we save it, now we have this one. And now we can decide whether we run fast or not. So because we just have the script done and everything, it should work. It didn't work as intended, actually. Do 0 on this one. Okay. So when we 0, then we don't have anything, and when we run, we have this. The thing is now in code we just swap to the other render feature here. And something's not correct here. Something were a little bit strange, but I kind of just added it again. So yeah, if we play, it loads in. Then we have, what? Where is the speed lines? Oh my God. So I realized I probably used this URP dataset, but this is the one that we created in this tutorial. So I just, here we did a name, so I'm gonna do 158 tutorial speed and load. So this is the one that we're gonna fetch on the controller. So I'm gonna go full screen pass, and here we have the tutorial speed and load. And now it should work. So if we run the nearest lines and then we load, so now it works. So yeah, this is how you swap the render pass feature in runtime, so you can be more efficient.